begins in all of us. But within those who push their souls to the limit, it is an inferno, where excellence is not only required, but demanded, where aspirations are realized only by a willing heart and an unwavering focus. Every flicker producing a new challenge, sparking emotions foreign only to those who have not experienced the fire. The sensation can be overwhelming. The pressure, the isolation, the expectations, the sacrifice that brings them here, closer to the flame, with not only a national championship on the line, but an elusive trip to the Winter Olympics on the horizon.
In '94, our first Olympics, we went to participate.
This time, we're going to compete.
The Olympics has been a lifetime dream, and this is the week where I'm going to try and make my dream a reality.
The Olympic Games is where dreams are made, where dreams are shattered.
It's the ultimate, it's overwhelming, and it's the survival of the fittest.
I've trained most of my life to compete at the Olympic Games, and all I want to do is enjoy every moment and reach for the excellence that I set out for myself.
The Canadians next. Canada's Figure Skating Network welcomes you to Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. 30 days to go until Nagano, the 1998 Bank of Montreal Canadian Figure Skating Championships. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to opening night of CTV's 4 days of coverage. We have the men's and pair short programs tonight. I'm Rod Black. Elvis Stojko will be going for another Canadian title. This is his last competitive event before the Winter Olympics, but the big battle is in pairs, and we'll have more on that in a moment. But first, our thoughts tonight from Lloyd a little later from Montreal. Now to the ice news here in Hamilton. Elvis Stojko will skate his short program later tonight, and let's face it, folks, the only way Elvis is going to lose his Canadian crown is if someone ties his skates together. This one's a gimme, but Elvis says he continues to push the skating envelope. The current world champion, coming off a second-place finish at the Champion Series final, is toying with the idea of inserting a second quadruple jump into his free skate. The jump would be a quad Salchow. He's been trying to land it this week in practice. He had a tough time there, but a little later he would come and nail the quad Sal. Will he add it? Will he land it? We will find out Saturday night in the men's free skate here in Hamilton. Besides Elvis, Jeff Langdon is the only other Canadian man to meet Canadian Olympic Association qualifying standards. And CTV Sports has learned that the CFSA, the COA, will not necessarily hand him a ticket to Nagano. According to the Canadian Olympic Association, the CFSA has the option to replace Langdon if another skater finishes ahead of him. So we have some added drama to the men's event. More on that a little later. The biggest battle in Hamilton, however, is the pairs competition. Joining me as always, Barb Underhill, a former pairs champion. Very simple math. 4 teams, 2 berths at the Olympics.
Well, there's 3 teams that really are in a level of their own. Menzies and Bombardier, Sargent and Wirtz, Savard Gagnon and Bredet. They're all really at the same level. They've all risen to a new level this year in their skating. They're skating well, but there's a tremendous amount of pressure here because this is really a do-or-die situation to make the team.
There is no pressure on Elvis Stojko. He's going to win this thing, let's face it. But does he go for it or does he coast?
Well, Elvis always goes for it. That's a given. But I spoke to Doug Lee prior to this event, and I said, how's he going to handle this situation? He said he'll treat it as an Olympic simulation. Use this as one more step towards the Olympics.
And what about all those other guys, the would-be Stojkos?
The most pressure on anybody here in this event is on Jeff Langdon because he knows he's got to skate to make that second position and to make the Olympic team. And there's a huge amount of pressure building. The Rat Pack is on his tail. A bunch of new young skaters just starting to come into their own. And if Jeff makes a mistake, that could open the door for one of these young skaters to emerge.
The men's short program to come later tonight, but first let's take you back to earlier tonight. The pairs short program held in Copps Coliseum. 4 Canadian teams qualifying, meeting Olympic standards. 3 teams will show you: Menzies and Bombardier, Marie-Claude Savard-Gagnon, Luc Bredet, and then Christy Sargent and Chris Wirtz.
And in the short program, the pairs must complete these 8 required elements. And as always, the side-by-side solo jump, triple jump is the element that could make or break the program.
Here is a pair that a lot of people are betting on. Michel Menzies and Jean-Michel Bombardier. 2-time Canadian champions last year. They did not make the world team. And Barb, Jean-Michel told us yesterday, he said, "We're ready. We've been working hard. If we don't do well, it's because we choked."
He said there are no excuses this year, and they really have taken their skating to a new level. Programs are both outstanding. But as always, it comes down to the side-by-side triple. They'll open with a double twist. Great height. And now the side-by-side triple Salchow. This is it. Oh, they both go down. They've got to hold the rest of this performance together. There's still a chance they can remain in the top 3, which is key. Aside from the side-by-side triples, a superb performance. They'll have to sit and wait and see who does them.
The marks for Menzies and Bombardier when we come back to Copps Coliseum. Best pairs teams in Canada to watch, but one of the best pairs team in the world to enjoy. But the constant problem is the side-by-sides. They got off to a flying start.
This was a gorgeous element for them. That has really improved over the last year. The height, look at the distance between them here on the side-by-side. And they both have exactly the same mistake. And they go down hard.
5-2, 5-0.
Since they are the first pair team to skate,
5-2, 5-0.
these are the marks. The other 2 pair teams, Savard-Gagnon and Bredet.
3 teams have struggled with the jumps today in practice.
5-6, 5-5.
They're the leaders, but we'll wait.
5-5.
So after watching Menzies and Bombardier, Is the pressure ease a little bit for the defending champions of Canada?
Well, I'm sure they know at this point that Menzies and Bombardier have missed the jump simply by the marks that they saw. But they've got to do it. They just have to think about what they have to do. It's important for them to relax going through the jumps. Not force them too much, but just let them happen. They open with the double twist. And now the side-by-side triple. It looked like she touched down, but Luke landed it cleanly. Little struggle there with the unison on the spins. They gained so much confidence this year from their bronze medal in St. Petersburg earlier this year at the Champions Series final event. There's their hand-to-hand lift. And this is a very difficult entrance into this death spiral.
A slight glitch on the side-by-sides, but for Marie-Claude Savard-Gagnon and Luc Bredet, that's one step, one more step to go on the road to Nagano.
It was okay. They looked a little tight to me. Now watch Marie-Claude on the triple toe here. Yeah, a 2 foot there. That'll be a minor deduction. But look at this death spiral. This takes incredible abdominal strength here to go from that position, push the edge out, and back into the back outside death spiral. They should get extra marks for that. I've tried it. It's tough.
Marks for required elements.
Team that last year won their first Canadian crown in Vancouver, finished 14th at the Worlds. A bit of a bump on the road, and then they came back strong to end 1997 off by finishing 3rd at the Cup of Russia. Look at the marks for presentation. The defending champions are the leaders, with Menzies and Bombardier second, and Sargent and Wirtz next. Recently engaged, they are 3-time runners-up in this event. They say they will settle for nothing less than #1 this year.
Their programs, both choreographed by Marina Zueva. They open here with the side-by-side triple jumps. And Chris steps out of his. Wasn't quite sharp enough on the landing. Looks like they struggled partway through that lift. To their skating this year. She's added a maturity. She's helped Christy soften a little bit. There's much more character to their skating. They're relating as a couple on the ice. A few glitches out there, but as a performance, I thought it really stood out.
A couple off the ice, too. The marks for Sargent and Wirtz as the battle lines heat up in Hamilton.
Okay.
That is Chris's brother Paul, their coach on the left. That is Marina Zueva, one of the great pairs coaches on the right.
Here's a side-by-side triples. Christie's was perfect. Chris was a little bit off in the air, and he over-rotates to landing. Not quite sharp enough there. This was a beautiful back outside death spiral. Look how quick she goes down into that position. She hits it, she holds it, she's right down at the ice level. But all three teams have had glitches in their performance.
Butterflies?
I think, yeah, pressure. This is going to be interesting to see who gets it. It could be Christy and Chris based on the performance level.
Required elements marks are around the same range as Savard, Gagnon, and Berde.
I think the presentation mark is going to come up, and it does.
Look at the presentation marks as Luke looks on. Sargent and Wirtz lead. Savard, Gagnon, and Berde are second. Menzies and Bombardier are in third and on the bubble.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you very much.
And that was earlier tonight. Sargent and Wirtz leading the way. Savard, Gagnon, and Berde in second. Menzies and Bombardier. And again, only the top two teams will go to the Winter Olympic Games in Nagano, Japan. Some of the other highlights from earlier tonight. Jodine Higgins and Sean Rice, who now train in Florida. They have met the qualifying standard, but they had a difficult short program. They ended up in 5th position. Valerie Sorette, Jean-Sébastien Fecteau. They rose to the challenge. They currently sit in 4th. And check this out. That is a rather large cast on the hand of Chad Hawes with partner Samantha Marchant. He broke his hand on Boxing Day. They went out there and skated. Talk about a couple of gutsy kids. Perhaps a little risky, however. They ended up in 10th position. We will show you the pairs free skate Saturday afternoon, and we promise you, because we had time constraints tonight, we couldn't show everyone, but we will show you 10 pairs on Saturday. When we come back to Hamilton, the men's short program. Elvis Stojko and the rest at the '98 Bank of Montreal Canadian Championship.